I'm here too, guys. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Hello Mellow, and today we're gonna talk about high school or Zoom school for the times that we're in right now with Mrs. Rona. So I jot down a list of stuff I'm gonna go through, and the first thing is anxiety. Now, I started high school. If you watched a previous video of mine, the natural hair video, you would know that I processed my hair when I just started high school. So, going into high school is already like anxiety inducing, if that's a word. I was really like scared I'd be judged, and I did not appreciate the luscious hair that I had on my head. So I was like really insecure about that, and I thought that I would not make any friends because of it. I did not have like the curliest of hair, like no, not that, the loosest curls of hair, because we have like 2 weeks of like summer school when we're starting high school. So it's like an introduction without the rest of the school. It's just all the new kids coming from the different primary schools that they were in, or middle school for those that are elsewhere, not in Jamaica. We have primary school out here. And I was scared of how I'd be looked at if I was, first of all, I was scared of being judged by the way I looked. I did not look like most of them there. Well, the ones that I wanted to look like. I know, cringe. That would be like the light skin with the loose hair and talked really well, although I don't even know what's talking really well mean, but out here they're like, as long as you don't talk patois for some reason, even though the rest of the world likes patois, our country apparently doesn't appreciate it in like a formal setting or so, because they say that you talk baddie, and I'm like, no, we don't. We talk beautifully. That's why people copy us all the time, in a bad way, by the way. So I went into high school thinking that, oh, I'm gonna make some friends. Skirt. No, I did not make much friends for like the first 3-4 months, somewhere along that line, because I didn't really know what to talk about. All the girls there would talk about boys and stuff, and I was a tomboy, and I was friends with some of those boys they were talking about. So it was kind of weird for me to like speak to anyone about like stuff that I wanted to talk about, or things that I found interesting, like cartoons or Avatar back in the day. Avatar: The Last Airbender, by the way. Back then, I did not make friends until a girl, we'll call her Barbie. No. Yeah, Barbie. Because she was like a Barbie. Well, she still is like a Barbie. But we only became friends because she knew my best friends. My best friends were 2 guys at the time. They were brothers. Let's call them Phil and Lil. Sorry, Phil and Lil. Can you tell the cartoon reference, guys? Please drop it down below if you know what it is. Anyways, like I was saying, anxiety, right? I went off on a tangent there. I was scared of being judged, like I was saying, of the way I looked. I didn't like my gap teeth because it wasn't as straight as the rest of theirs were. And I have pretty straight teeth. I just had a gap, and I was like really insecure about it. So I didn't smile in any pictures. I always did this. All of that weird faces that I know is like really stupid looking back. I'm like, first of all, why was I so like worried about something like that? Because I'm pretty sure no one really cared. No one did. It's only me, and it was all in my head about some of these pointless worries that I had. Another thing on the list was like fitting in. So like I said, I processed my hair to fit in. Yeah, somebody slapped me. I processed my hair to fit in because I thought that if my hair looked longer or whatever, I'd fit in with everyone else and I'd be seen as really pretty as well, and all the boys would come, blah blah blah. And I don't know why I was so worried about that back then, but that's what all the girls were talking about. So I'm like, hey, I want to get in on this too. After processing my hair, I didn't regret it at the time because I was like, hey, I'm like one of you guys now. It's the big thing. I feel like an adult now. I'm like, no, I really like my hair. I really love my hair now, and I've learned to take care of it the best way I can. Kind of needs a trim, a little bit more trimming, but that's besides the point. I tried to do everything to fit into school. I wanted all the expensive stuff, even though I can't afford it. My mom couldn't afford it, but bless her heart anyway, she tried a lot with me in high school. I wanted all those really cool bags back then. It was what, the John Sport it was, I think it was John Sport or whatever, those cool bags. And that was the thing back then. Everyone wanted a John Sport bag to rock, and I was jealous of like those cute little lunch boxes that people would carry to school. And no, I was not carrying any lunch boxes into high school, fam, but that was cool. Was it lunch boxes or was it like the pencil case holders? I think it was the pencil case holders. I was like, I always wanted one of those, and I'd buy like the cheap Chinese version that would break if you open it too hard. Yeah, one of them there. It's still cute though, but it wasn't like the zip ones that everyone else had, or the cool expensive pens that everyone had, or the fact that some people came here by car. I had to take the bus. I didn't mind the bus because I had some pretty fun memories of being with some other students in like the school bus and stuff like that. Another thing, the shoes. I always wanted like really cool shoes to go to school in, like the Skechers and all that. Wasn't happening for me, fam. But I didn't know that. I think about it. I'm just grateful I had shoes. Another thing would be jealousy. No. There's a lot of different things you can be jealous of when you're in high school. Because your yam head brain decides it's a just be envious of stuff or jealous of stuff. Like for example, when your best friend talks to someone else or is friends with someone else, why did I take it upon myself to be really like iffy about it? I felt weird. I wanted her out of myself. I'm like, she's mine, you can't have her. That was me back in high school. What else was I jealous of? I was jealous of the fact that my friends Barbie and another Barbie, by the way, had so many like guys that would talk to them and like fall in love with them and stuff like that. And I was like, I was just here in the corner being like, I'm here too, guys. No, I was that person back then. Ooh, it's already been 9 minutes. Oh shoot, the camera soon cut off. But anyway, I was really like weirded out by the fact. What am I talking about? I really wanted to like get the attention of the boys too, or whenever they had like this thing called Miss Bishop's. It's kind of like prom night, but it's just like we're celebrating all the girls and their talents and dressing up and who can wear the biggest and the hottest heels come to school and all of them things there. But yeah, what was I saying? Anyway, the next one is relationships. Boy, oh boy, boys. Relationships in high school aren't very stable because your mind is not stable as a teenager. Mind you, there are some people who have their high school sweethearts and end up marrying their sweethearts. You have those few gems in high school, but I was not one of those gems, and neither were you, probably. No. relationships in high school is like the most dumbest things I've ever like people would get upset with each other for like the least thing and then break up for no reason, and then half the time it doesn't even last you 2-3 months. And the problem was probably because, oh, you weren't talking to me that as often as I was talking to you, or you never text me as much as how I text you, or you never text me first before. And I'm like, okay. So growing up, I thought that, oh, if this guy doesn't text me as often as I want him to, then he don't love me. So we're gonna cut, we're gonna leave, we're gonna break up. And I'm like, really, sis? No, that's not how it goes. Now that I'm older, I kind of realized that that was some yamhead business. That was some yamhead business, guys. I really shouldn't have been like that. It was weird. It was a weird time, but we're getting there. Next is friendships. So high school friendships is kind of a tricky thing, because most of the time you're not really friends with your high school friends when you touch like college and stuff like that. So you could have been the bestest of friends in high school, but you guys grow apart because you're becoming different people and you're changing, and sometimes those changes don't exactly meet. So you go your separate ways, and that's okay because you're growing and you're changing, and that's fine. I have a few of my friends from high school, but we don't talk as often as we used to anymore, and that's okay as long as we get to like say, hey, what's up, or whatever. Along with that, after that, we have identity and self-expression. No, I did not know what I was supposed to be or who I was supposed to look like back in high school. I'm pretty sure no one else does, and if you do, it's not going to last, and you'll probably change out of that phase anyway. Now, trying to find yourself or your identity in high school is a healthy thing to do. Well, in my opinion, it's a healthy thing to do. Trying out new hairstyles, trying on different outfits, makeup expression wise, whether you want to wear a skirt or pants, or if you want to wear like a blazer or a suit or whatever come to school. It was your choice. Wear platformers, slippers, socks, doesn't matter. We did not have that in high school though. We had uniforms. We wear uniforms here in Jamaica, so we didn't get that privilege to do those stuff. However, we could carry like comfort stuff, like, so we'd bring like teddy bears. And I remember I had this one purple teddy bear I'd keep on my head that I'd always like walk around with on my head at school. And sometimes my friends would borrow it, and I'll see my teddy bear in another classroom somewhere down the line from another friend who gave it to another friend. And you'll see people come to school with like teddy bears or pillows or blankets, and that's how we expressed ourselves. It was either with like stuff that we carried that we were allowed, because we're not allowed to carry electronic gadgets and stuff like that, and we were not allowed to wear like multicolored bags. So my school uniform was purple and lavender, and our shoes had to be black, and our socks had to be white, I think, and it cannot be ankle socks. It had to be the ones that folded under, but people still disregarded the rules and they wore ankle socks anyways, rebelling, I guess. Your nails could not be too long or they'd cut them off for you, and your uniform should not be above the knee. It has to be below, like 3 inches below the knee. I think that's how it went. Yeah, that's how it went. So we weren't allowed much creative freedom for self-expression. That's why when we go college, we go wild, because we did not get the opportunity to do anything when we're in high school, not even through like hairstyles, because certain hairstyles, they called it distracting, so you'd either had to like take it down or go with a more like, either you're plait it or you can catch it up but you have to plait the ends, or you can't wear braids anyway, and you can catch it in a ponytail. For the girls with looser hair, they could catch up their hair and have like the ponytail like swish around. We could not wear our puffs that grew towards the sky. Next one is Glowups and Glowdowns. Boy, oh boy. Guys, some people who came into high school were like super like adorable, super sweet, super nice, and some came in super like mean and ugly on the inside, not on the outside, on the inside, but yeah, on the inside. And by time we reached graduation, some of those good people became really twisted on the inside. And trust me, I think their version of trying to fit in became something completely different, and it just didn't work out. And some of the mean people kind of became docile and they were quiet and even nicer. So you have those people who completely do a 180 in high school. You can't judge them anyways because they're also navigating the world along with the rest of us. All of us are on like a race, but we're on different tracks and all of us go on our own pace. So it's fine. I think they'll grow out of it eventually, hopefully. Some of them who really think that being in high school is the it thing and they decide to stick with the personality they had in high school, if it's bad, by the way, and not evolve with the rest of us. Like, if you're not changing, that means you're not growing. You're not growing in any way, shape, or form. And sometimes change is good. I know it gives you anxiety when things change, but change is good. It lets you know that you're not stagnant and you learn different lessons along the way. And you should be grateful for all lessons, whether good or bad, because they help to mold you and shape you into the person you are right now. And the final thing is the future. Oh, high school and the future. That's a tricky thing because when you're in high school, you're a teenager and you don't know much about the future, or you don't really care much about the future. There's a few of you who do, but there's some who really, it's not the first priority. It's like making friends and making sure you fit in and finding your identity takes over. And I know some parents are probably going to kill me, but the future for you is different than what your parents want it to be. You don't know what the future holds, and you don't know how many times you're going to change your mind in your lifetime about what you want to do with your future. Sure, you can do stuff that's in the present that can help you reach your goal in the future, but sometimes the future can take a nice turn, and you just have to like make sure you're navigating yourself and make sure you're just on the right path. Sometimes what you want in the future ends up not being what you really needed, and that's okay too. Accepting where you are in life is really important as well, and just going with the flow sometimes can be really good. It can be, because when you're in college, sometimes you're like doing a major, or you're doing a bachelor's degree in something, and you're like, this is not what I want to do. And then you change your mind. It's okay to change your mind as long as you're not going off onto something that you know is not good for you. And sometimes parents don't accept that, but it's okay. You just need to talk to them. Talk to them if you can. Talk to someone you know you can trust, who can help guide you, because sometimes guidance is really important as well. No, it's not sometimes important. It's really important. And it really does help you in the long run. So guys, that's it for the stuff that I had to say about high school. In conclusion, all of the stuff that I mentioned before, when you're older or like when you're over high school, they kind of pale in comparison to what goes on afterwards. Life after high school is sometimes really the best, because stuff that you worried about in high school, what that girl's wearing, or oh, you didn't catch up with the latest trend, it doesn't matter in the end. As long as you're happy and you're setting yourself up for like success, that's all that matters. Sometimes some of the friends you had in high school will leave, but that's okay. You make new friends. You make better friends in the end. The people who are like-minded or different, because sometimes different is good. Different can mean you broaden your spectrum. So that's about it I have for you guys. I know that this video is a bit different, but I kind of like this one. Let me know in the comments if you like these type of videos and I can do some more. So apart from that, guys, like, share, subscribe, click that notification bell if you want to hear more from me. Click the icon above as well if you want to see more videos that I've done. And that's it, guys. Bye bye.